If you're struggling with making accurate reads on your poker opponents, here's a concept that might help you to understand why. I call it the iceberg effect. What it means is that every action you see from your opponents is simply the tip of the iceberg of how they actually play. No single action or even a series of actions can ever tell you in detail how your opponents are thinking, because the vast majority of their game is hidden beneath the surface. It's very common for players to think that they can soul read their opponents after only a short amount of playing time, even for pros who might be very experienced in understanding different player styles. But the reality of poker is that even if you think you can draw some reasonable conclusions about why your opponent made a specific play or used a certain bet size, you're never going to be particularly accurate, especially if your opponents are weak enough that they themselves don't really understand why they're doing certain things. For example, you might think that a specific opponent is overfolding the river because they already folded to 3 river bets in the last hour. But there's so many reasons why that could be happening. Depending on how you yourself actually play, that same opponent could have already preemptively decided that they're going to call you specifically anytime you bet the river because they think you bluff too much. And you can't possibly know that until it's happened. Even something that seems like a reliable pattern can actually be entirely unreliable or misleading. And even though it is of course possible to make reasonable assumptions that are somewhat accurate, we're always going to have to take everything with a pinch of salt and avoid the belief that we know what's going on in our opponents' minds. If you found this tip useful and you'd like some more tips and exploits, check out my website pokerfluency.com for some more free tips. And of course, stay tuned to all my socials for some more insights as well.